Hello and welcome to this first of a series of videos where I'm going to talk about and show you the Kingbolen K7 Modular Comprehensive Automotive Diagnostic Tool, which is a lot of words to describe an incredible piece of technology that I'm going to try to understand. Now, I imagine that many of you, like me, will have invested in a basic OBD code reader, the sort of thing that you can buy online for 20 or 30 quid and will do a very basic job on some OB2 compliant vehicles in code reading, clearing codes, etc, etc, etc. What I would like to find out, both for myself and on your behalf, is it worthwhile investing in a more advanced diagnostic tool? And if, like me, you run older, modern classic type cars that are at the back edge of OBD2 compliancy, will a modern, all singing, all dancing bit of kit work with them? Will it communicate? And in this first video, that's exactly what we're going to find out. But let's start off by talking about the unit itself. Now, I bought this from Amazon and it was delivered literally the very next day, and I quite liked that it was securely sent and very securely handed over. Now obviously in these modern times where we all order stuff online, it's not unknown for parcels to be dumped outside your doorstep, left with a neighbour. Now obviously this is quite an expensive bit of kit. It's over £400. It's really good value compared to others on the market, but it's a fair old chunk of change, and you don't want this being left behind your bin or with your neighbour that might not like you. You might have had a car parking dispute or an argument over a hedge or a boundary or something. So when you buy one of these, you get sent a particular code, and when they hand over the package, you have to supply that code to the person handing it over. Otherwise, you don't get your grubby little mitts on it. So I thought that was quite a good thing. So, as we unpack it, the first thing that we can see is it comes in quite a nice, rugged, little zip case, which is nice and useful. And let me come over to you. There we are. So we have the unit itself, which feels high quality, certainly very robust, rubberized around the edges, and you've got a big old clear 7-inch screen there. That's grand. We have here all of the instructions, which, even though I'm a man, I did actually read, and they're quite clear, quite concise. But you'll find that when you use this, a lot of it is actually intuitive, and you'll be able to just work your way through it, and it will make pretty much total sense. You've got your plug with various adapters, so you can use this on holiday. You've got your lead, and you've got your little Bluetooth thing that plugs into your port. Now, there are no, other than the power cord, which is used purely for charging the device, this is completely cordless. This communicates with this via Bluetooth, and this unit here is fully Wi-Fi connected. One of the first things you'll need to do when you go through the setup process is to log this into your home work Wi-Fi, because as you'll see in videos to come, this does 1,000,001 super clever things when it's connected to the internet. Now, to be completely honest with you, I'm certainly no mechanic. I'm not even an expert tinkerer. And being a man of a certain age, a certain vintage, technology does not come entirely naturally to me. So, over the next few videos, this is going to be a learning process for me and possibly for you as I become conversant with this bit of technology and I learn how to explore all of its capabilities. But to begin with, there was one particular task I wanted to attempt with it. I run a fleet of modern classic cars and I have a devil's own job getting an OBD reader to communicate with them. Also, the particular fleet of cars that I run are MG Rover, and they are well known for being the most difficult cars to communicate with their brain. You need very, very specific reader for them. I can't remember what the name is. Many of you will know. So is this chap up to the task of communicating with an early 2000s MG Rover? And I had the car to find out, as we can see in these few clips here. This is my 2003 MG ZT. And the engine management light is on. Now, my previous cheap and cheerful OBD reader will not communicate with this car. Will we have any more luck with this rather more impressive chap? Let's see. So, I've plugged the little chap into the doings, and that's obviously successfully connected. We have a green light. And now we fire up the main bit. Connecting. Well, this really is impressive. It's relatively immediately identified the VIN, and we can see that it's identified a fault code. Let's have a look. Right then, read fault code. Catalyst system efficiency below threshold. Bank 1. Ha-ha! Excellent. So, I would say that was an absolute success and I was delighted. However, I had a bit of misfortune a few days after recording that, where I had a little accident in that vehicle and had to be recovered by the AA. And the accident lit up the dash like a Christmas tree. And the AA chap plugged in his all singing, all dancing, very impressive computer into the car to attempt to have a look at all of these codes that had come up and all of these things, and to see if he could turn any of them off. Now, later that evening, very, very late at night, in the wee small hours of the morning, I did a live stream, and here's a little clip from the live stream where I explain exactly what happened. Right, I need to tell you this before I forget. Okay, so he's sorted the wheels out on the car and he's plugged his thing into the doings, you know what I mean. So he's plugged this thing in because he wants to have a look at all the warning lights and see if he can turn any of them off. Right? The AA are equipped with a Bosch 590 super duper, super clever, all singing, all dancing, code reader, computer thing, right? So he's plugged that in. Now this is a £4,000 bit of kit. A £4,000 bit of kit that obviously the AA have to be able to deal with everything, so it's supposed to be like the most advanced bit of kit that you can get. It runs multiple operating systems so that it can communicate with pretty much anything. And he said, let's see if I have any luck, because Rovers are a nightmare. And hiya, Mustard. So he's plugged it in, it won't communicate. It would partially communicate. It got the first half of the chassis number, but he couldn't, and it read one of the codes, but it wouldn't communicate. It couldn't reset the codes. It couldn't turn anything off. It didn't communicate. A £4,000 bit of kit did not communicate. He couldn't even turn the engine management light off. Right? Bosch 590. The industry, as I understand it. But if you remember, darlings, but my thing did communicate with it and did turn it off. So you heard it here first. This £400 Kingbolen K7 all singing, all dancing code reader is better than the Bosch 590 the AA are equipped with. Now then, stick that in your pipes and smoke it. So there you have it. My little Kingbolen K7 here would do what the mighty Bosch 590 would not. And that's a pretty incredible thing in my book. Now, admittedly, we are talking about a set of uses that is particularly personal to me, but I'm not the only person who drives MG Rover cars from the early 2000s. So I'm sure many of you will be interested to know that this will, as I've shown, actually communicate with your cars. And in videos to come, we'll find out exactly what it can do with them, how far it can go. And I will also be using the unit on a variety of other cars, because not all of you drive MG Rover. I'm fully aware of that. So please do join me in videos to come where we really put this little bit of kit through its paces and find out what it can do and what we can do. So tune in next time, and thank you for watching. There will be a link in the description below to Amazon where you can place an order for one of these should you wish to avail yourself of it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.